Hey guys, happy Friday. Like, every time I press the button, baby starts barking, she knows what's up. Okay, so I've been horizontal a lot this week. I hope you can hear me good. I'm not holding the camera. Ooh, it's 8:18 p.m. Good omen, as always. Back to what I was saying, I've been horizontal a lot this week and watching cable a lot, because I was dog sitting and they only had cable in the bedroom. I'm looking at the sunset and it is so freaking beautiful. I was just outside. Picked up baby's poop. I picked up a lot of poop this week too. A lot. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Not to start off this week with poop talk, but I got poop on my fingers a few times and it's not fun. I really don't wish that on anyone. Like, nobody. I don't even have enemies, but if I did, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. There's baby. She made her appearance. Good. Okay. So I made a lot of, I wrote down a lot of lessons from stuff I watched on TV, especially cable. Some are just random notes, as always. I'm very random, and that's just how it be, okay? This Earth is random and made out of chaos. Did you know stars are made from chaos? And I knew that before. It's just so cool to be reminded of it, that we are made of stars, we are made of the universe, and that's chaos. And there's order in chaos. That's a whole thing. That's what a lot of these lessons, like, I don't know if I'm gonna explain them or just let them be. Let you interpret it. I don't know. One of the first notes I have is laughing at myself. And that reminds me of I was watching like a YouTube video earlier and they were saying like you just have to be like cringe to even post on social media, and that's like very true. Like the very fact of like just posting on social media is kind of cringe. I agree to that in some sense. Doesn't Taylor Swift say embrace the cringe? Okay, next one. Encourage introspection. I want to encourage introspection, so I encourage you to think about the lessons. Just think more. Just introspect, okay? Should I Google that word? What does introspect mean?
Introspective means.
Oh my gosh. What does introspection mean?
Introspection means
The examination or observation of one's own mental and emotional processes. Does it annoy you when you look up a word like introspective and then it went to introspection? Oh, baby wants some of my water. Ah! Baby, you paused the microphone. Is that a special talent of yours? Okay, this isn't that full, so get what you can. No. You got it. Okay. Oh, there you are. You just needed a better angle. Okay. Classes in session. I think that was a Brittany Broski wannabe type. Baby. Are you okay? Are you okay, you want more? She does that a lot, so I don't want anyone to feel concerned. I love you. You want to come here? Okay. Lessons from School of Rock movie. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to do so. Classic. You will just classic. A lot of references to that in pop culture. I needed to take a breath. Okay. I hope you will join me in that. If not, start it now. Here she is. Here she is. Here she is. I love you. Okay. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to shame you. Just watch it as soon as possible. I typed that out. Okay. Sticking it to the man. Sticking it to the man. I don't think we need to prove ourselves to anyone. This is good, actually. Like, I don't... Do we have to prove ourselves to anyone? No. You gotta prove yourself to yourself. Like, I hate the idea of thinking like you're kind of like living your life for someone else's approval. So, okay, but that's different than sticking it to the man. Don't live for someone else's approval, but just do you and stick it to the man. You know, when you're trying to like just come up with the definition for a word, but you can't use that word. Okay, the clouds are so beautiful right now. So beautiful. Should I turn it around? I was trying to hold myself not to. I don't know if you saw it, but if you're listening, look on YouTube if you want to look at it. Or on Spotify. The video's on Spotify. Okay. Next one. Everyone has a job. Oh, I liked that. In the movie, I don't think this is spoilers, just... I guess I was about to say I would be surprised if you haven't seen it, but there's a lot of people that haven't seen a lot of movies. Or just don't remember him. He basically forms a band out of a classroom, and everyone has a job. And I like that. Like, even, like, in a band, like, you think of people that can play instruments or can sing, but there's more people in that. Like, managers. I'm thinking of theater, too. I did, what's the backstage work called? I don't know. I did that and then got kicked off. Long story in middle school. Not that long, actually. I still kind of feel bad about that. Should I go into that? I just saw a few birds. I feel like why not? Feel bad about it. So if you're listening, like, I'm sorry. Like, I felt... I just remember being backstage with you and a couple other people, like, my guy friends, and... Like, I don't think I started it. I have no idea. There's a lot of things that happened that I don't remember, so I have no idea. But I just remember we were all tickling you. And then days later, the next day or something, like, we got in trouble with the principal, and I was, like, kicked off the stage crew. That's what it was called. So, I'm sorry for tickling you. I feel... I really hate being, like, I remember how much I hated that. Thank goodness I'm not really that ticklish now. The one person that could tickle me was my dad, like, right by my thigh, but he's not here anymore, so I'm not that ticklish, okay? Okay, yeah, everyone has a job. Like, Miranda Cosgrove's in that movie, and she became the manager. So, cool. Next one. Do whatever you can to achieve your dreams / do what you love as long as you don't hurt anyone. I love that. I was trying to think if Jack Black said that. He's the star of the movie. He may have, or I may have just interpreted that. Because he was not supposed to be a teacher, but he kind of, like, just took the opportunity and seized it. Yeah, do whatever you can to achieve your dreams, and do whatever you want / love as long as you don't hurt anyone. I've posted that on my Instagram story before. saved on my highlights, I think. Okay, next one. What is the most vulnerable thing you could say right now? That's my next note. I don't think that has to do with the movie. I think we've moved on from School of Rock. Let me take a breath. Like, I talk really fast when I start recording. 8:28. Good omen, as always. When I think of 8, I think of abundance. I think of infinity. When I think of 2, I think of stability, duality. When I think of 8, I just said that. Abundance, infinity. Death, transformation, intimacy, too. That was a vulnerable thing I could say. Oh. Another vulnerable thing, last time I opened up about going back to school, and I think I'm gonna go to Trancy. It's where my mom and my aunt went, so I guess we gotta wait to see if I actually got in. Yeah. Another vulnerable thing, I've had to upload a bunch of documents, and I think last night very quickly, basically I had to look up affirmations for patience earlier today because I just want things to happen so fast, and I'm I need to be patient. It's gonna happen when it happens. I don't know why I want it to be now. So I looked up affirmations for patience. Because sending this one thing, I don't know, I didn't have to click to show my GPA, but I did, and then the person said that they had to send that by mail, and that's going to take a few days. Baby's trying to get more water. Did you get it? You got it? Okay. So now I'm waiting on snail mail time, which is good. I'm glad I'm able to have, when I am in a predicament, when I am feeling those intense emotions, I have intense emotions. I'm glad that I'm able to have these tips and tricks and to know that I can feel better and to be able to transmute my energy into feeling better. I am the master of my emotions. I am a creator. I am in control. I'm not in control of how I feel, but I'm in control of how I react. So I'm glad I'm able to recognize that and choose how to react. And now recognize that I should be grateful for where I am right now. I'm exactly where I need to be to learn the lessons I need to be. Maybe it's to tell you all, so. There she goes again with her little... I hope that didn't burst any eardrums if you're listening on headphones. Or anyone. Next one. Spreading love throughout the world. I should say that every time. We should all spread love throughout the world. I was just watching... I'll come to this movie at the end, but it might not have been from that, so... I just heard something, and it was maybe it was from Hitman. I just watched that on Netflix. The only thing that matters is how you treated people. That might not have been from the movie. Doesn't really matter, though. The point is... Oh, it wasn't. It was from a YouTube short. When you die, the only thing matters is how you affected people, loved people, how you treated people, were you nice to people. So, I think it's important to spread love throughout the world, obviously. At night, during the day, like whenever I try. Okay, sidetrack story. I don't know. I feel like I may have talked about this in like one of my old podcasts where I didn't have a microphone or camera, but one time when I was a delivery driver circa 2021, 2020, I was delivering to a house. I was kind of down bad at this point. Like, I was down bad, like, for periods of time, for long times. But, God or something chose to give me, I was gonna say lesson, but a sign. I don't know. I basically walked up to this girl's house. Ended up, because I told my mom, the person that lived next door was the doctor that delivered me. So, another connection. But, this girl, she was an older woman. Nice house. I'm still working on breathing through my nose. If you didn't know, I had nose surgery to breathe better. She basically, like, as soon as she saw me, she, like, had some sort of recognition or connection to me, noticed something about me. And this has happened, like, multiple times before. People have asked me, like, right when they meet me, they're like, do you see things? And I'm like, what do you mean by that? I said that to one of my art teachers. But she recognized me, said something like that, and she was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then started telling me about, like, the lineage of my family. Said something about how I come from healers, some country. Why do I want to say, like, around the Philippines? I've looked it up before. It's some country of healers. And I don't know about that stuff. Like, I don't know if that's true or anything. I don't know if it's, like, if she was talking, like, a past life sense, because I've never been told that I'm Asian at all. Like, I don't think that's part of my... But it could be, because I feel like... Did we all come from Adam and Eve? I don't know. But whatever. She said something about seeing me deliver babies in the future, like, with my hands. Something about me and my hands and babies. Like, something about me having a gift with that. And that was kind of when... This is vulnerable. And I don't know if I've ever said this before. I was obsessed with, this is why I was down bad, because I was kind of, like, deciding between, like, two different people, or, like, confused, like, obsessed. I can get obsessed with people, if you didn't know that. Putting the microphone, I can get obsessed with people, and that's why I need to focus, do what I want first before I put other people ahead of me. Okay. I asked her if she knew what a twin flame was and if I had one or whatever, and she was like thinking like that with, like, I could be making this up, with, like, her finger to her forehead, and she was like, yeah, and I feel like I was like, who is it? And this is just my recollection, it's probably not how it went, but she was like, trust your gut. You know. You'll know when you know, or you'll know. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I feel like I was really down bad, because at that point, I started thinking if someone else that really isn't a twin flame, like, I was so delusional. I was thinking he was, or this other person, and yeah, God knew I needed a sign. Angels or someone knew I needed some type of sign to stop thinking that way. Yeah, and I remember her, like, asking my name, because maybe she'll hear about me one day. I don't know. With the doctor thing, I don't know. So that was interesting. That's why I miss delivery driving, because I made a lot of connections with people all over the world. And that's one thing I'm excited for about school, especially at a new school, because, well, there's a lot of things I'm excited about a new school. One of them, I'm excited. Someone just sent a river request. Okay, I'll probably do that one. Okay, sorry, that just like shocked me. I feel kind of bad with that family, because I'm getting so vulnerable, which I like I am, but okay, right when I was leaving that house, I noticed, and you could tell I feel bad about this, right? Okay. Get him. We all do things. You know those situations where you have just like no idea what the fuck to do? Sorry, I just cussed. I've been trying not to cuss. This thing, I really want to fix it. I don't have OCD. I don't like to pathologize things like that. That's not the right word. Whatever. I'm holding myself back from not standing up right now and touching it, because I really don't want to edit this. 8:39, 8:40. Okay. I got some Whitney Cummings vibes. That's why I feel like we'd get along, girl. I met you. She said how cute of an outfit I had, and I could just tell, like, it was not cute. I know it wasn't. Okay, the house. See, I'm getting better because I get back to what I was saying. Basically, the dog hiked its leg on a couple of beds. Like, they're not really supposed to come upstairs, and I'd try. Like, these dogs are huge. They hump a lot because they're not fixed, and he basically hiked his leg on 2 beds, like, right before I was leaving. Like, I really, like, cleaned up everything. I don't know if everything was in my car yet. One last go-around check. And he, like, peed on the bed, like, twice. Like, on the side. And I didn't know what to do because it's, like, on the bedding, everything. And I didn't want to take everything off because I know it was, like, you know how people are specific with the way they clean things. I keep looking at the viewfinder. So I didn't know what to do, and I felt like the best thing to do was to just not do anything. So that's what I did. But see, obviously, they still like me, so I hope they've noticed. They probably have. That's what I would think. And it's just pee, so it's not the worst thing ever. That's what I kept feeling, like, guilt for it, but it's like, I really think I did. Because if someone, like, if I was in that, if that happened to me, like, if I was the girl and not me, like, I think it's just pee, so, like, I feel like that's easily cleanable, and it's like, I would have wanted to clean it myself. I know we're not all the same, even though we kind of are. But yeah, that was vulnerable. I've been keeping that in. I don't think I've told anyone that. Yeah, okay, so after that, what's the most vulnerable thing you say right now? I just said like 10. Spreading love throughout the world. Next one. Cable and how we have way more choice now. Yeah, that's what, when I was watching cable, I felt connected to people in a lot of ways. Because it's like, I'm not the only one watching this right now. And it was nice. Like, I feel like that's why, like, a lot of people have seen School of Rock, because it's on cable. I watched Paul Blart. The first one and the second one. I missed a little bit of the beginning of the first one, I think. No, actually, I watched it. Yeah, see? I learned a lot from watching movies and TV. That's what I say that to my mom a lot. Yeah, we have way more choice now, which is, it's the same with the internet. Like, it's really a blessing, but that's why I think it'd be like self-control and self-discipline is something that everyone needs to garner and nourish and work on, because we all have the capacity to do that. That's what also in Hitman, the movie, Glenn Powell, he's cute. He was a philosophy teacher, and I've taken philosophy, but that's what one of the topics is, like, can people really change? And I think people really can. And I think it's like facts, it's like proven. But I think people say there's like limits on how much we can change, like within points. He said that word specifically. I'm like, what do you mean? But look it up if you're interested in it. I'm not a teacher. I was like, what is that wet spot? It was from spilling water. Okay. Moving on. We'll only regret the things we didn't do, not the things we did do. I was trying not to cuss right there. I almost said, is damn a bad word? I don't think it's that bad of a word. Oh my gosh. Clouds are beautiful. We'll only regret the things we didn't do, not the things we did do. That is why I am glad I started this podcast. That was self-reflection time. Let's move on. Don't conform. I said that in my last vlog. I vlogged the other day for the first time in a while. Baby, you are so cute. Okay. Next one. I had no concept of self. Yourself can't be ballet. It can't be another person. That goes on with the topic. Like, I feel, I've also learned this in psychology. It was debatable, and there's, like, some theories about it, about how, guys have more of a concept of self before girls do. One woman psychologist, I know I've talked about this before, when I had no microphone or camera. One woman psychologist said that we first come into our sense of self through a guy, like women do. I guess girls. A girl more so understands herself from a guy, like her first relationship, something like that. And the guys kind of know themselves before that. Something about, like, it was different in guys and girls and their concept of self. Yeah, I felt we can't, I think the point I wanted to make with this point was that we can't we can't identify ourselves with anything outside of ourselves, pretty much. Like, if someone asks you who you are, like, you can't say ballet, because that's not who you are. Like, ballet is its own thing. You can be a ballet dancer, and that can be a part of who you are, but that's only one part of you. Okay, the camera stopped automatically. There were some birds flying. Good omen, as always. I don't want to say that much. Yeah, and you can't be defined by, like, anybody else, like, any relationship you're in. That was pretty much the point I wanted to make. Next thing. Netflix Geek Girl. It's cringy, but it wasn't bad. I liked the idea of it. Our stories are driven by who we are and what we do, not what happens to us. Do anything you want as long as you own it. Let me repeat that. Our stories are driven by who we are and what we do, not what happens to us. Do anything you want as long as you own it. I think this was when they were talking about Hamlet and the geek girl, Harriet Manners. I thought that was a funny last name. She had this really smart idea about what Hamlet, how she viewed it, or her an interpretation of it, and I thought it was very profound, because you can be who you are and whatever, but, like, what you do is really your story. Like, you can be born into whatever, but what you do with that is your story and, like, what matters. I think that's very important. I felt sometimes we can feel trapped and, like, you can't do anything about it, but I think it's important to know, like, you always have a choice to do something. You can always change your situation in some way. Change the way you react to it. That's always an option. Change your environment. Change something. Change is the only constant in the world. Okay, last point I had. The Hitman movie. Seize the identity you want for yourself. Take control of it and grab it and do it. Seize the identity you want for yourself. That's, like, you could be born into anything, but then it's, like, what you do with it. That's what a lot of people have the wrong idea with astrology. Because, yes, we were born with these. At the time we were born, and the planets are where they were when we were born, yes. And especially studying your chart, like, it helps to understand the choices you can make from it. Like, you're not stuck in any way. That's what, when people think they're stuck, like, that annoys me and it triggers me, because I think I felt stuck for a long time, and I felt like I couldn't change who I was, and that's why it bothers me. But it's important for me to, like, probably help people think that they're not stuck anymore. We have choices. We have so many choices to do what you can with it. And for me, it helped understand. It took some introspection and reflection to understand me and, like, why I am the way I am, and just understand me. I feel like I can be delusional and not really have a clear sense of, like, who I am or what I'm doing or anything. And so it took some introspection and reflection to understand who I was and kind of make changes to be the person who I want to be. And you can do that. So I think this was a great episode. We did some poop talk. I had a lot of notes. And I love you all. This might be my favorite episode yet. I kind of think that every episode, like, it just gets better and better. Sometimes. Yeah, I love you all, and I hope you learned something from this, took something from this, I don't know, just enjoyed. I just hope it helped or benefited you in some way. So, I love you all, and I will see you next week. You might see me in a vlog or something. Bye.